1, 2, 3. Come with me. We are going to go live. That's right. Now, here's the fun thing. Hopefully, you can all hear me because I've been playing with my audio settings. So, if you are watching live, feel free to let me know if you can hear me, because I did one of these, the very, very first one I ever did of these, and it turned out that no one could hear me or no one could see me. It was one of those. It was awkward, and I did a really fantastic go live and no one could see or hear me. It was just half an hour of a black screen. So that's what happens when you like to try and stop playing small and get out of your comfort zone. Sometimes you muck things up. You muck things up, but it's a learning experience if you let it. Anyway, we are officially live. We are on like Ron. And if you don't know who you are watching right now, let me introduce myself. I am Aileen Day. I am the owner of Meraki Business Solutions and Value Driven Brand and Aileen Day Advisory, just because, as I say every week, I'm greedy. I like to have my fingers in plenty of pies, keep me out of trouble. But essentially what we do is we go live here on multiple platforms. If you're watching us from Facebook or LinkedIn or YouTube at the moment, welcome. And if you haven't joined us before, well, what we generally talk about is the joy of sex. And that's right, sex, not the sex like your parents had on the bedside table type joy of sex. Mine is the joy of the customer, the employee, and the human experience. And when we do that right, one day I'm going to point to it the right way, we get the joy of sex. So today I want to have a bit of a conversation about a recent customer experience that I had, and it just baffles me. Bemuses me. I'd say amuses me, but I don't find it very funny. I actually find it highly frustrating. Is the disparity between the way that our customer experiences are played out when it is a new lead generation versus a loyal customer to your business / up and coming brand. And I'll set the scene. So yesterday I bit the bullet. I drew a line in the sand and I knew I needed to update my life insurance details and coverage. And so I sat on the phone. I was prepared. I knew it was going to be an experience. And I sat on the phone waiting patiently. And then I was so pleased that they had a callback service. So if you are an online, or if you have a call center and you don't have a callback service in 2021, heading into 2022, can I tell you to pull your thumb out of your backside and make it a thing? It is the very least of functionality that your customers deserve. Okay. And I know it can be an investment, but I am most certain that if it is implemented appropriately and accurately, that you can quickly summons that return on investment. Because ultimately what happens is that is a way to delight your customers. If I don't have to sit on the phone, and it's been a fun activity, right? I've started collecting sound bites of different businesses' hold music, and it's been really interesting to listen to each brand and the hold music. And if you don't think that the hold music plays into the way that your customers experience you, then you're not considering the all-encompassing idea around what is customer experience. Anyway, so I got a call back, which was just fantastic, made my morning. I thought, this is wonderful. I don't have to listen to their shitful hold music, because it was exactly that. It was shitful. And they called me back, and the gentleman was on the phone. He was lovely and helpful, and I told him what I wanted, and he said, oh, okay, actually, I will put you through to the right department. This isn't the area for that. And I said, oh, okay, no problem. Anyway, so he went to put me through to that right department, and I get a voice message come up saying, thank you for your call, goodbye. And the phone system hung up on me without putting me through to the correct department. The phone just went dead. I was like, where do I go? He didn't tell me what the department was that I was going to have to get put through to. So I couldn't just ring back and say, hey, could you put me through to that department? So I sat there. And so again, this plays into my customer experience. Now, just take into consideration, this is the customer experience of a loyal customer. I have been with this business for my insurance since I was in my early 20s. Easily, since I was in my early 20s. I am now 41, right? Feeling every day of it. But the point is, I have been around. I have made those bastards so much bloody money. And the one time I need their help, you know what happens? I get given shit music and hung up on. So that's not, despite the fact that the person on the phone was lovely, that doesn't help me in the end if I can't get through to who I need to speak to. And so then I ring another number, hoping for the best. My goodness. You think there's a speedway outside my house? There will be soon, but not yet. Anyway, so I call a different number, and the team member answers the phone. Again, lovely, fantastic, no problem. And he says, I'm going to have to submit you a new quote. And I said, yep, great, no problem. And he said, can I have your email address so I can send that to you? And I said, why? Why can't we just do it now? And he said, well, that's not how it works. I said, but if I was a new customer, you'd do it right now. And he said, no, but I need to change your current steps and whatever. And I said, so if I was a new customer, you would be making all of those adjustments on the spot so that I would sign up on the spot. I said, now you're in this predicament where I'm a 20-something year old long customer, and you're about to let me go and wait, I think he said 48 hours, potentially 48 hours for a quote, 2 business days for a quote, when I'm on the precipice of renewing my insurance. I'm at that very pinnacle of the customer experience journey where I could actually just leave. I am no longer tied to you. My renewal is due. I could just piss off to a competitor. And you want to make me wait 2 days to find out what the new cost is going to be? What the new adjustments are going to cost me? Give me 48 hours to consider my options to go somewhere else? But if I was a new customer, that would not happen. So the fact that I know that you have the functionality to just do it on the spot, and yet you don't, blows my mind. And it happens with so many organizations. There is such a massive disparity about the way that we generate leads and the way that we execute an experience for those potential new customers. But in the process, we're actually not taking enough care, and that's what it is. We're not taking enough care to understand the experience that we're putting our loyal customers through. And to be honest, if you haven't tuned in before, loyal customers are where the money is at, right? If you want to go spoil someone, spoil the loyal. Oh my God, I'm going to hashtag that. You heard it here, folks. Spoil the loyal. All right? That is the people that make you fucking get the cash. They make you wealthy. They make you rich. They make you live that life of abundance because they pay the bills, they love your work, and they want more of you. But you have to understand the experience that you're putting them through, because if you don't, I will leave. I just did it to Telstra. I've been a Telstra customer since I was 15 years old. 15. Do you know how many years that is? That's a long time. A long time. There's probably customers out there that have been there since there was telecom. Actually, I think it was telecom. Back when I signed up for Telstra. And I left them because they just, in my time of need, they couldn't support me in the most basic of ways, right? That was the customer experience that they deliver to their loyal customers. But if you're a new customer, everything, you have the silver platter, you have the red carpet rolled out. Hello, Graham. Oh my God. Bad businesses assume once they have a customer, they'll be too lazy to leave. Absolutely. You know, we talk about, you know, up until recently, it was hard to leave. It was hard to leave a mortgage. So it was hard to leave a banking institution. It was hard to leave insurances. It was hard to leave. But there's been so many inroads in the last maybe 5-ish years around being able to make it easy to leave so that the consumer has that consumer choice, that is their right to choose without being locked in to bullshit customer experiences that just abuse the fact that they got you in there. You know, they used the honey, you fell for it, you got in there, now they're taking your money. But the reality is those are not brands. Those are not trusted, value-driven brands. And that is what I want for every single person watching this, whether it is now or 20 years in the future. The experience that you deliver to your loyal customers. Once you have signed them up, how do you know how to keep them? What are you going to do, right? There's a few things I want you to take into consideration. The first thing is the lifetime value of every one of your customers, right? Once they become what's deemed a loyal customer, and that means that they have stuck around, they've spent their money with you a few times, or, you know, they haven't left, for example. And it does depend on the business you're in. Obviously, if it's a bank, you know, they're kind of stuck with you for a little bit. But, you know, utility services, clothing, fashion, you know, who are you loyal to because you've gone back and you've spent your money with them repeatedly. So once you start to understand what every one of those customers is worth to you and how quickly you can get a return on investment by looking after them, right? The better you look after them, the more inclined they are to stick around, the more inclined you are to get your return on investment for getting them there in the first place. And then once you've got that break-even point, you start to make a revenue from them, but only if they stay. If you manage to piss them off before you've made your break point, then you've lost money. And all of that rolling out the red carpet was a complete waste of time. You know, I had a client that I was discussing customer experience with a little bit ago, and their customer experience when it came to lead generation was, you know, they promised the world, but then ultimately what happened was they would get so many customer complaints because everybody thought that it was such a fantastic service or opportunity, but when they got it, the business couldn't sustain what they promised, right? They couldn't keep up with the demand, and they just took. And do you know what ended up happening to that business? They went bust. They literally went bust. They literally blew up everything they built because they couldn't deliver on what they promised. They couldn't sustain the customer experience, and the expectations became too high based on what they were executing. Therefore, everything beforehand was a waste of time, energy, and money. Now, as a business owner, can you comprehend doing everything in your power to get a customer only to piss them off once you've got them and lose everything? What's the point? So understanding your lifetime value of each of your customers is so important, right? Google lifetime value algorithm. Go and figure out how to work out the lifetime value. I've already done a live broadcast that discussed all of that stuff. If I can find it, I'll tag the link back into this, but it's very simple to work out, right? And apply it to your business. Figure out what every one of those customers is worth to you, and what are you going to do to get to not just the point of break even, but the revenue making, right? What does that experience have to look like to keep them, to spoil the loyal? Because the other fun fact, and this is a fact, right? Loyal customers will spend up to 25 to 95% more than a new customer, right? So if you're offering, 6-month free this to a new customer, I would then ask you, what are you offering to the ones who've been there and had your back all this time? And it might not be the same offer. It might be something, again, you need to find out what they value. What do those customers actually value from you? To be honest, I don't really want a discount from my life insurance people. I just want them to pick up the phone and put me to the right person and give me a quote immediately, like they would if I was a new customer. And I did give them that feedback. I give them kudos, right? They've got a callback system. And at the end of every call, they send you to a voice of customer survey, which actually has the ability for you to leave a voicemail and deliver your feedback, which I actually love. So here's hoping they bloody listen to it, right? But it blows my mind that I've had to give them that feedback in the first place. Why haven't they, as such a big organization? And if you are not a big organization, you have even less excuse, right? Because you are the primary dictator of that experience. So create it so they stay, right? The second thing that I want you to take into consideration is exactly that. Create the journeys. Create the ecosystem that you want your new customers to go through, and then separately but together, understand the customer experience journey that you're about to go and put them into for them to stay in, for them to become loyal, for them to drive revenue, for them to start doing the marketing for you, because that's the other amazing thing about loyal customers. I used to go and pitch to organizations, and especially when they didn't really understand customer experience disciplines that well, and they would say, why do I need you? And I would say, I'm going to reduce your annual marketing spend by $50,000 every year. And to a company that's, a mid-tier company, $50,000 is a lot of money. And obviously, the bigger the company, the more money I can save you in marketing. And they would say, how are you going to do that? That's bullshit. Oh, Google Ads. I said, no, I'm going to teach you how to keep your customers. And then when you are doing such an amazing job that your customers want to stay with you, guess what happens? They become advocates of your brand, and they start to do the marketing for you. Right? It is just that simple. And now we have the world of social media. It's even more fun. It can definitely be used for you or against you, but you are the creator of that experience. So create the experience so that the people who are there for you, who have got your back, know that you have theirs. And how do you do that? Well, some of the easiest things you can do is listen. You can listen to your employees. And if you don't have employees, ask people who might work in the industry for their insights. Maybe you're still kind of growing your brand, and that's fine. It doesn't mean that you are exempt from not listening to what's going on in your industry. So if you then have listened to people who work in the industry about what they see, the insights they have, the qualitative insights that they have, and the quantitative insights that they have, then go and speak to your customers. Like this life insurance business has, and they've asked for feedback. That's great. But speak to the customers before you put the service or the experience out there, and then keep amending it based on feedback after that. There would be not one single customer, I could guarantee you, who would have said to this insurance company before they released this experience, no, actually, as a loyal customer, I'm definitely happy to wait while I'm in my renewal process and section of my customer journey. Totally happy to wait. Yeah, no, make me wait a few days. Yeah, no, that's fine. No, I don't want the information straight away. I don't want to sit on hold and just know exactly what I'm doing and not have to have any follow-up touch points. No. I'm happy to keep touching your touch points. No one's saying that, right? And if they are, maybe they're lonely. Just maybe, who knows? But understand what those customers want. I have said it once, I will say it again, I will say it 1 trillion more times. If you are on LinkedIn, go and follow David Allison. That is ALLISON. Oh, is it double L? Just look for David Allison value graphics, right? We know about demographics, we know about ethnographics, we know about psychographics. Well, I get all hot and sweaty over value graphics. And you want to know why? Because it doesn't matter if you live in Timbuktu and you're 99 or if you live in Pakenham and you're 41, right? The reality is that there are groups of humans who value the same thing, no matter what color you are, no matter where you came from, no matter where you're going. You still share the same values, the same and similar needs. So understanding humans and their values is absolutely imperative to sustaining and innovating a customer experience that is going to create loyalty. So the next time that you are implementing something, anything into your business, into your brand, out there for customers to have an experience with, whether it is new customers, old customers, customers who have just had a gutful and they're leaving, I want you to consider how you treat them. What is the experience that you're putting them through? Is there a disparity between the way that you look after them based on where they are on the journey, right? And are you, intentionally or not, looking after or putting too much energy into the wrong audience? If you want help understanding what that looks like in your business, I invite you to contact me, because if you can't tell, I am hugely passionate about closing the disparity. And I know that as a consumer, you have experienced it yourself. So don't be that guy who then, or girl or gal or anything in the middle or on the outskirts, don't be the person who then goes and does it to your own customers. Be considerate, be aware, be conscious of what you are putting out there for your customers, new or old, to experience. Let's shut the disparity down. Right. That is it for me. Before I go, I am up to nearly episode 50 of these live broadcasts. How exciting. I committed to something for nearly 50 things, 50 times. I find that humorous. If you were in the room with me, you'd probably laugh as well. But I think I might do something. I might do something fun. I don't know what. Maybe a competition. Maybe I'll give out some free time, maybe I'll come and tell you what I think about your business. I don't know. Maybe if you've got an idea, hit me up. Tell me what you think episode 50 should be about. I love your feedback. I invite it fully and wholeheartedly, and be certain that I listen and take note. And I don't just listen. I do. Don't just listen to people. Do shit. Tell them you've done something because of what they told you. And even if you've done nothing, in the sense that it wasn't warranted, at least say thanks for the feedback so that they know you're open to it. Understanding your customer isn't rocket science. Oh, I know, but it keeps me employed, doesn't it? Business owners need to think about the conveniences they enjoy when they are the customer at other businesses and implement them in their own business. Yeah, absolutely. I couldn't agree more. But on the flip side, make sure that it is suitable to your business, right? If in an ideal world, you wouldn't need a callback system on your support number, because every phone call would just be answered, right? But understanding the root cause behind some of the challenges that your customers are facing, certainly taking conscious notes around the parts of experiences that you enjoy in other organizations, yes, definitely. And quite the opposite. If you're experiencing something that is horrendous, go back and reflect on how you might be doing the same thing to your customers, right? And when I say customers, please don't just think about external customers that come and pay you cash. Think about, we did it again. Think about your employees. Think about that human experience. What are you putting humans through? What are you forcing them to experience by being a part of your brand, right? And then consider whether that is something that is going to keep them around or repel them in their next renewal section of the journey. Who knows? And trust me, if you're not doing something, a competitor will soon be coming up behind you to do it for you. So please don't sit on your laurels, okay? Love your passion, Aileen. You're awesome. Man, you're a champion. It's so lovely to see you, even if it is virtually. All right, ladies, gents, everyone in the middle, it has been a pleasure. I'm going to love you. I'm going to leave you, and I will be back next week. Please feel free to drop me a line and tell me what you think episode 50 should include. I'm going to give something away. I don't know what, but just tell me what you want, and, I'll pay attention. Until then, have a wonderful, wonderful rest of the week. Go out and deliver value to somebody else in your life, because what goes around comes around. I'm Aileen Day. Until next time.